Dylan is adamant that lying like a banana is more comfortable, and it's definitely not. Today we're going to be looking at hammocks again. Last time when we did a hammock video, when I just got a new one from One Wind, I had my inflatable mat in it. I had the Nemo Tensor, but it's an XL mat that I've got, and yeah, I'll share a clip now, but it didn't work. The mat was too big for it, I'm presuming, and from what I've seen online, a lot of people are using like a pocketed style mat. So what I've done, I've gone out, I've found an absolute bargain. I think I paid £17 for it, this small pocketed mat. Only a very low R value, so chances are I'd probably still be putting an under blanket in with it, just to keep that chill off. But what we're going to do today is, I'm going to go set it up, I'm going to put that mat in it, and we're going to see if it makes a difference. We're also going to compare it to my old setup, which Dylan now uses, because it's the same setup that he had before. He just wanted the straps, and we'll do a bit of a comparison between the two. Where we're out today, somewhere local. One of the things I've been striving for is to try and find a local little spot that we can do almost like a bit of a stealth camp, but I don't want to do your conventional go and make myself homeless on a roundabout stealth camp, because that's not what I do, and I don't see the pleasure in doing that. I just want to find somewhere that's nice, a bit of greenery, a few trees where I can hang a hammock from, or get a little bit of coverage for a small tent, and where we can walk to it from the house, because unfortunately where we live, which is very close to the centre of Manchester, it's flat, and there's a few small parks, but they're more like children's parks, and a few meadowed areas like this, but they're either proper agricultural farmland, or alternatively there's just not a great deal of coverage with the trees, and they're quite small areas. So what we've been on the search for, and we've been looking for most of the year, is just finding a nice little spot that's easily accessible, that we can get to. I don't need it to be completely on my doorstep. We're happy to have a hike to it. Obviously I'd rather not be walking miles and miles and miles down a road. It's just somewhere where I don't have to go out in the car to get to it, because unfortunately there isn't hills where we live. So if I'm wanting to do a hill camp or a proper wild camp, I'm either constricted to weekends when everybody's out, or at the moment it's, kids are off school, so everybody's out every day, or alternatively I use my one day off that I now get during the week, and I do a 3-hour drive from work trying to find somewhere to camp, in which case it's 9 o'clock before I get there. So I'm getting somewhere at 9 o'clock, then I've got to hike up, so I'm pitching in the dark, which doesn't bother me, and I'm going to do a bit of that. But sometimes it'd be nice to just be able to get home with my gear in the back, go out somewhere, find a spot, have something to eat, maybe have a little bit of a fire that's very well controlled inside the firebox, maybe not, and just be able to enjoy the world around me. And that's what we're looking for at the minute. So we'll see what we can find, and we'll go from there. I don't know if you can see through them trees, but there's actually a farm just in front of us, literally just there. So chances are any woodland that's around here is owned by that farmer. But that's not the worst thing, because I am trying to find some woodland that's got a bit of permission on it, just for doing smaller vids like this. It's not always the easiest thing to find. We don't have a great deal of wildlife around here. There is the odd few deers, but not massively on the privately owned lands. We have reached out to a couple of farmers and not had any real responses. But we'll carry on and we'll see what we can find. Obviously, if you're watching this and you're in the UK and you've got some woodland that you'd be allowing us to use every so often, I don't mind mucking in every now and then, putting a bit of work in, helping out. We found this massive tree falling down. I had to set the hammock up here and just try it. And what a spot. I may have to come and do a hammock camp here at some stage. It'd be a very risky one, because there's The farmer's land is literally just there. There is a fence, so I'm not actually on his land, I'm on public land. So whether or not he'd say anything's another matter, but it's... What a little hammock spot this is. Take 65.
7 million.
So, on today's Neath Does Bloopers videos, I'm going to talk you through these hammock straps. So, what I'll do is, I'm going to share a few bloopers at the end of this video because there's been a few silly mistakes that I've made today. So you'll get the reference at the end if you stay to the end. What I'm going to do now is, I will talk you through these straps. So, I've just talked you through the one from the Eno, with the straps on that with the whoopee slings. So on these ones, they're very similar. So they use like this metal buckle, you can see it from both sides. And what you do to use this, on the one wind you get these clips with the straps. Now, these are really easy to use. You just literally pull it to tighten it up and pull that, it's going nowhere. To slacken it off, you just feed it back through. And then pull it. Simple as that. Now, there's pros and cons to these. They could be quite difficult if you've never used this type of strap before. I've seen people use very similar couplers and not figure out how to actually wire it up. There's plenty of videos out there. In fact, I'll show you now how to do it. So you've got your strap, you've got your clip, get your little wobbly metal bit, get this, push the metal thing in, push it under. Pull through roughly what I want, then push the metal thing to the opposite side, creating, I don't know if you can see it, like a gap in the top. Feed the end I've just passed through that gap I've just created, pull it tight, and that creates your sling. And then, like I said, it's nice and tight. It's as simple as that. But like I said, if you've never used one before, I can see how they'd be difficult. And even trying to show that on video, then trying to actually talk through what I was doing wasn't the easiest. Now, which slings would I use? Which would I choose? It's a difficult one. These are a lot more packable. As you can see, the actual strap is only very short. So you wind it up, and then most of it's whoopee sling, so you can just sling that round. 2-second job to pack them down. These, however, obviously the whole thing is your burlap strap, and it is massive. By now you'll have seen the video of us setting it up earlier around the fallen tree. The tree stumps on that were like this, they were massive, and it got round it easy with plenty to spare. It's probably 5-6 meters at least. There's probably 3 meters here that's spare, and I've got about 1 meter to the tree and about 3/4 of a meter around it, so there's a lot of this strap. And to roll this up, literally to pack it away, you have to pack it down small and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll to do it, and it's tedious. So for that, they're a better strap. Confidence wise, and people are going to pull me on this because, and I know before anybody says anything, this is also on paracord. But the one thing I really don't like about them whoopee straps is that it's on a paracord. I'm 20 stone and it doesn't give me any confidence. I don't know if it's because this is a double paracord, which strangely that is because the whoopee sling fits around the outside, or what. But I just feel more confident with one of these straps. It could be because it has this nice big burlap strap at the top. I don't know, but it does make me more confident. Now, if I was just coming out day to day, and I just wanted to set it up just for getting into it with a chair or something like that, just somewhere to sit while I was cooking, I'd just bring a daisy chain, because it's so much easier just getting your carabiner and clicking it on and not trying to cinch it in and dial it up. You don't need any of that for a chair, you can just fasten it in. So I think they all have the place. And to be fair with these straps, if you haven't got one of these hammocks, it doesn't work because your clips are part of your hammock. So that in itself for these is a bit of a disadvantage, because what one wind have made it so you've got to use it in a one wind hammock. Now you could unwire this from here, but I don't think they sell these separate. If they do, somebody could drop me a comment and please let me know, but I don't think they do. Therefore, to actually use them, you'd need this hammock. So it's swings and roundabouts, because them I can use on any. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up inside here. I'm going to put my mat inside it. I'm going to pump that up. I have tried this before and fell flat on my face, so hopefully we won't. So the mat I've got, and it's still got the labels on, is a Huber Peak. I bought it from Alpine Trek, I think it's called. I think it's actually one of their own brands. It cost me £17. It's got an R value of 1.7 or 1.3. It doesn't actually say on the packaging, but I'm sure online it says 1.3. But it also packs down this small. So it's 2 cans of Coke, one on top of the other. It's not the biggest of mats. When it's set up, it has got the size in there. It's a mummy shaped mat because when I put the last one in, I surmised that I actually think a mummy shaped mat would fit better. And it's only 410 grams, so for the summer it might actually be alright. It's also pocketed because I also think because of how they flex, that should work better in a hammock. So what I'll do is now, I get this out. By magic, what I'll do is throw that at Dylan. I already don't think I'm going to like that.
I am in. As you can see, not very well. It is warmer. Now, I'm not overly confident in it. Yeah, I still don't fully get why you would want an air mat in this. I may see if I can get it to sit on a diagonal lay maybe and then try that. I'll try that now. Now, what I'm noticing is because the pad natively wants to sit this way, between here and here, I'm quite toasty, which is a testament to this pad, to be fair. 1.7 R value and it's taken all the chill off me. However, my lower back and this side and my ankles, I can feel them cold because none of them are actually covered, which isn't ideal. Whereas with the under blanket, that's going to cover the whole outsides. What I will do is I'm going to try and move the pad round now. I'm going to get out and move it, see if I can get that set on the diagonal and see if I can actually lay it that way. But I've got a feeling it's going to try and lay itself straight again, which means in theory the only way to get any heat off it is for me to lay like this, like a banana, and I'm already noticing the difference in how uncomfortable I feel like this. And it is more flat than it would be. I've also noticed the pad seems to end at this leg, so most of it is over this end. So I'll get out, I'm going to adjust it, try and get it on a diagonal lay, and let's see if we can get this pad to work.
Okay, so I have got the pad in on a diagonal. Now, how I'm going to actually get on it now is on the mat. I think actually to hold the pad is probably the best option. Well,
No, this is going to end up me on the deck. This is still not right.
I've now adjusted this to get in, and what it's done is it's moved the pad again. So if I get in, I can get a diagonal lay again. And once again, the pad isn't anywhere near me. It doesn't seem to work. I could be wrong. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out how to do it. I come on it now, but it's straight, and it seems to take all the fabric away. Now, I think because it is essentially a hammock with another hammock stitched to it, and it's just a giant pocket, I think that's what causes the issue. Now, I'm probably going to give away £1 million or even $1 million idea here, because I know I've got American followers as well as British ones. But, and to be honest, if you take the idea and you market it, that's fine. Do me a favour though, please send me a free one if you do, because it's my invention. But I think if you put a pocket in that was on a 45-degree angle, that was big enough for just a regular sized pad, that's the only thing that it fits in, and you made it so it's made to measure, and you gave out the sizing of it before you bought it so people know what size mats to get, then I think it'd work perfect, because you're creating that diagonal lay, you're making it sit that way. Whereas with this, the problem you've got is you put the mat in diagonal, then you lose this side, which you need to cup over your shoulders to help keep you in. So you don't get the diagonal lay.
And if you put it flat in it, like it wants to sit, when you lay down, not only do you lose half your hammock, you're only actually keeping your bum warm. The rest of you isn't. Now, I'm not saying I'm done with this. It might be a case of trying some other mats maybe inside it. So I have tried a pocketed one. I think as far as inflatable mats go, unless somebody can drop me a comment or whatever, or can inform me of a way that it works better, I think I'm done with air mats with it. But I've just had a thought, what if a closed cell foam mat will work? And I've got one of them, so that might be the next thing to try in it. But honestly, I think it's just a fad. I think it's just something to make people buy hammocks. Now, for me, I didn't buy it for this. I bought it because it was unusual and I like unusual and I wanted to showcase that. But I actually wanted it because it's double skin, because that's going to make it stronger and probably warmer. Now, I'll just bring an under blanket, to be honest. I've got one. They're dead easy to fit. Even on this, I said I'm not sure how to fit it. It's actually got fasteners for it. You could use them for guys as well, but I can literally string it onto there, put them on both sides, and job's done. You know, I don't need anything fancy. It's just to keep a bit of cold off you. And from what I've heard, actually putting the sleeping pad inside the hammock works better, which I'm now going to try.
I don't know if you can see this. Look at how much extra fabric there is. But when it's on the inside, it seems to take all that up, and I don't know why. So I'm going to try it now, like this.
See, as you can see, the second I lie down, you can actually see what's doing from the inside. I lay down, and the mat is trying to turn 45 the opposite direction to me. It's unnatural because I have to get in and kick out this. But so, as you can see, what happens is, and this is what's happening inside, all this mat is wasted. Now, I could probably jiggle about and get this underneath me now, but it's a lot of faffing about. And I just don't know what benefits it's offering me. So I think what I'm going to do now is, I don't think there's anything else I need to speak about. We brought it out again, once again, tested it with a mat, once again, doesn't work. Yeah, I don't get the technology. Like I said, if somebody wants to make me one with it in a 45, it's not really a 45 degree lay, it's more of probably a 25 degree lay that people lay on, maybe 30-ish degree. But if somebody wants to build me one, I'm getting attacked by the ridgeline. If somebody wants to build me one with a pocket on that 33 1/3% diagonal lay, make it, send me one, let me review it, and hopefully it works. And make sure I've got it so I can get that lay proper. Give me a little bit of extra fabric at the end of the pocket so I can push out this side. Give me a bit of extra fabric on the other side so I can push out that side and I can get a good lay. Make it 11 or 12 foot long so it's nice and big, and we'll go from there. But if you could do that, then I think more people would hammock camp. But it's just, yeah, doesn't work.
farmland, proper agriculture, Didn't record any of that. Well, when did it stop recording then? Sorry, I'm holding the mic like an idiot because it attached to the hammock. So, I'll start that again, shall I? So, I go over the top. So, push the metal bit up to the end, through the back, pull it somewhat through. Done it wrong. This is. And there's another blooper. Let me know. Oh, that's my nipple. And I'm probably going to give away $1 million. $1 million? I'm not even American.